Itaola, it's your boy Lebuhang, Cheezboy Mokoena, the real mozzarella, the cheese cheddar. You know, I got my boy Romeo, not Juliet, Bafetu, the one and only Kermit, yo.
You know
Yes,
this.
Baba. Hey, Fetu Amasanda wana chabuli, lau tiami. Nerve-wracking, nerve-wracking, you know. First half, they were totally out of the game, not there. You know, I think Magesi did a perfect job. You know, defensively, they did well. Happy with Makubo, the striker there. You know, he showed that, you know, he's one player that teams need to look out for. And yeah, man, Sundowns was not the Sundowns I was used to in the first half. But you know, man, as current champions, they always find a way to get through. You know, and it happened in the second half. I think I saw totally different Sundowns in the second half. I think the subs made a huge difference. You know, big ups to Sales, Mathews. You know, they changed the complexion of the game. You know, and yeah, your thoughts in Kermit,
Yeah, you know,
looking at this Sundowns team, because
like you said, it was a tough game. A good first half display by Magesi, and in getting the lead in the first half. I think they could have extended the lead with a mistake from Koza there. What's your thought on that, my brother?
Hey. But it's always the case, Kermit, you know, now, and that's my worry, because I don't know whether it's his relationship with the keepers, because he had a similar mistake with Ronwen, same mistake now with Dennis. You know, he's a little bit slow in terms of his decision making at the back, whether he's passing the ball back to the keeper or he's clearing, you know, and that's just something that he needs to work on and improve on, because if they were punished and Magesi got that second goal, I think it was going to be a mountain for Sundowns to climb, man. You know, yeah, the boy is making a couple of mistakes, you know, that could have cost the team.
A slow start to the first half or to the game in general, like in terms of the speed or the intensity of the build up and the passage of play. Do you think it's contributed to the fact that they've just played? They've played like 72 hours ago. Was their last game, if I'm not mistaken, and the turnaround time for recovery to get optimal performance through recovery is a bit of a challenge, don't you think?
Yeah, I think it was a bit of a challenge, but obviously, you know, as professional players, you know, we are there to come and do the job, my man. You know, and I looked at the starting lineup. I mean, in the cup final when they played Magesi, they had the 8 players that started the game today. Magesi had the 7 players that played in the cup final. So it was more like a revenge game for Sundowns, you know, to say, hey guys, we cannot be beaten by these guys, you know. So but it was difficult for them. I think with that 8 that started the final, it was really difficult for them. I think the subs will just changed the whole complexion of the game, you know. But what's important right now is Amasandawana and Pretoria are happy and saying we are 6 points ahead now. You know, I heard an interview of Mokoena saying they want to open up the gap now. So I think Sundowns is changing the gear, they're changing the mood now and saying, guys, let's open up the gap, because this Pirates is just sitting just right here behind us, so that we can focus on the knockout stages.
I mean,
you know?
for sure,
yeah,
they're a team of champions. They've shown that season after season with their consistency, and they're just trying to kick on with their consistency right now. I mean, a championship team that showed in today's game also, coming back from a goal down and managing to score 2 goals in the second half. What a goal from Ribeiro! Hey man, what a the layoff from Sales. You know, even the goal that was disallowed from the free kick they've trained. You could see it's in-house set piece that's been rehearsed.
Yeah.
And what a way of execution. Yeah. You thought it was over, the action was over when Ribeiro was dribbling a bit, trying to get control of the ball before he played it wide for the cross to come in where Peter scored, which was called offside, if I'm not mistaken. But like I said, with VAR, man, and with the challenges linesmen have, having to watch the ball, watch the last line of defense, and making sure that the timing of the flag and of the player with the being on, you know, like movement and all those things, it's a challenge. And I think with VAR coming into play would be of a lot of assistance for linesmen specifically to allow those actions to happen.
The money, Kermit, the money. Are they willing to spend that money?
Sure,
that's the thing. I think we said it in one of our shows that
it's a clear onside goal. You know, I mean,
yeah, wow. No, definitely.
Well,
for me, looking at it,
go for it.
Looking at it, beautiful goal from Peter. You know, I think the linesman got it totally wrong there. You know, I think I think something needs to be done with these situations, because it does cost the teams. You know, I mean, Sundowns was really fighting to try get back into the game. They got that. They thought that's like
team had some
the lead.
Focus, my friend. Lunga divided particular. But we'll get back to that after the break.
Hey, you are back with that Lunga story. Everything will change.
Let's get back to that.
Kermit, My man, I have respect. I have respect for Lunga. I told you before. I have respect for him. Defensively is okay, but there now, okay. Let's talk. Let's go to an ad break. We'll be back. Let's go to an ad break. Let's pay the bills. SoccerBeat lovers, siyabuya. Le ndaba kaLunga lena ayisiphathanga kahle mina no Kermit. Let's sort it out. See you after the break. Welcome back, SoccerBeat lovers. You're still here with your boy Cheese, the real mozzarella, and Kermit Romeo himself, Bafetu. Sisonke Bafetu. What a game we watched, Magesi Sundowns. I think Sundowns showed that, you know what, they have the character, they have the players on the bench that can come and do the job. And yeah, I was just talking about Ulunga, Tiam.
Yes.
You know,
What do you think?
I think
for me, look.
I wanna.
Let me give my
honest opinion.
I know you're gonna go because he's your player. You know, and me, I have different.
No,
I have a different.
I love the boy.
Wait, I have a different view than you do. So let me go first because you can go out.
Okay, okay, go first, Kermit. Go first.
Red card is red card. Obviously, out of emotion, things happen. Tempers flare and all those type of things, right? But you also got to look at the positive side of the negative thing that happened. I mean, the guy has been fighting for the team, giving everything. He's grinding. Yes, he might not have the attributes that you would want in the attacking form from a fullback. But I mean, primary responsibility as a defender is to defend. And I mean, he literally rolled up his sleeves and defended today. You know. And like I said, I don't encourage. We don't condone violence. SoccerBeat lovers, we don't condone violence. But you know, it's just in the heat of the moment, things happen, and both of the players got a red card. It just happened to be your favorite, my brother, Lunga. What a guy! And by the way, he's a good human being too. What a guy! Very quiet, very humble. Yeah. I love him. So let's hear yours.
No, okay. my chance. Can I go? My man, I'm fit too. I got so much respect. I've said it even before. I'm fit. You know, you have a Mudau on the right. You have a Tapelo Mokoena on the right. Guys can defend and still attack.
For that matter, just to cut you off, got taken off through injury. So that also played a role in the complex of the game. You know, to change the complex of the game completely because you're having a different way. You have to have a different approach. Two players that's bombing up and down happen to be injured at the same time during the same game, and it's just, you know, unfortunate. And I hope it's nothing serious, and we wish for them, if it is, or not that serious, for them a speedy recovery. You know, because it's not something you'd want to leave the field for. You know, being injured. But continue, my brother.
Sure. Okay, Kermit, in fact, Mamela, Lungster going forward, he's not giving Sundowns anything. Going forward, defensively, he's solid, and you're saying his primary duty, of course, is to defend. You understand? But a team like Sundowns, which you need your fullbacks really high up. I know even in the build-up, you'll see him on the halfway line. You'll see Mudau Mokoena on the halfway line. And once they get the ball there, they turn to try and get into the last third, try getting across, 100%. Try getting behind the defense. 100%. Lunga, even when he gets behind the defense, I think his final pass or his decision making, most of the time I watch him, he gets there, he might go past the player, but then he'll never look up. He'd rather turn back and try pass the ball back, you know, and that's just something he needs to improve on. He's not a bad player, he's a good player. That's why he's playing for Sundowns. You understand? And I'm not criticizing the player, but I'm just trying to show the fans that the different side of it, because like you said, he's a defender. He's always thinking about being defensive. Going forward, he's not giving the team anything, and that's just my concern. That now Sundowns look like they play a little bit lopsided, where you find that the right is more effective than the left hand side. You understand? And also with Grant, it shows that with Sundowns they have depth in the squad, which is key in Fetu. I think lesson learned today. I mean, they got two players out injured. Of course, it's probably game management. Guys are a little bit fatigued and stuff. They've played a lot of games. And you have a Grant Kekana that can step in and play that right back position. Look, when he came onto the right, he balanced it really nicely. That's the side where the goal actually came from, where they played it to Sales, But yeah, man, still big up to Lunga, but I don't condone this boxing buffet. And when you talk about emotions, at that level, you gotta control it, Kermit. I don't think it was right for him to react and do
and
that, knowing that he's the key player or he's a player that's always starting in that position.
especially the time
Now,
it
what does
happened,
that mean?
the time of the game it happened as well.
Especially the time that the game is finished, we're leading, my man. Even if you can hit me with the ball, it's okay. I don't need to retaliate. And I think it was already on a yellow. So, of course, the next step is going to be a red card. You got to tread carefully. That's where the experience needs to come in. I just think he just let the team down there. But other than that, his performance was solid defensively. But going forward, he never really gave Downs a lot. But big up. I think the important thing right now that Sundowns fans want to know is that they just got the 3 points, and that's what's important. Probably another player will fill in that position because Sundowns has got a pool of players out here. You don't know who's going to be starting
Yeah,
next.
man. I mean,
Yeah, well?
it's always being the coach of Sun is obviously a great privilege to have a variety of players, like playing PlayStation, and seeing who you can put in and who you think need to have a rest and needs to do the job for you. So having the pool of players, like you said, is good for the coach, because in a season like Sundowns is playing in with so many games, having to have so many competitions to be part of, you need everybody. And like you said earlier, the
Yeah.
substitutes came in and responded today, and they made the difference. And that's what the team
Yeah.
is required to do. That's what the players are required to do, to step up when it's required, when it's needed.
For sure.
Not everybody can start; only 11 players can. And when given an opportunity,
Yeah.
you must chip in where you can and maybe be the difference, because every weekend is an opportunity for player to shine. It might not be you this
Yeah.
weekend, might be next weekend, but there's always an opportunity for players to shine. And I think if Sundowns continue this consistency, it's gonna be really challenging, a challenging season for Pirates to catch up in, because being consistent is not easy, man. You know, and Sundowns have been
Yeah.
doing it for years.
No, but Pirates will do it. In fact, I think of
No,
course, a game in hand and stuff like that don't really mean you have the points. But I I believe that what they probably also enjoying this pressure. But with 6 points, you have game in hand. That really doesn't guarantee you that you have the points already.
I think
But it's just a
I,
clear message from Sundowns now that we are stepping up the gear.
but
Sundowns has stepped up the gear now and
it's hard
saying,
to step
okay,
up the gear and have a
yeah,
benchmark to step up the gear, a benchmark to step up the gear too. Like Sundowns have always been leading things. Like the league,
yeah,
the consistency, the consecutive games win. Those type of benchmarks. They've obviously set precedent for that. So for them to do that again is it's not the easiest thing, like it is for Pirates, because
yeah,
Sundowns is Pirates benchmark. If they can be as
yes,
consistent as Pirates with the players they have, if they can be as hungry as Sundowns has been over the past seasons, and just let it they challenge themselves as a team to compete every game, even the smaller teams, to whack them out the way as quick as possible. I mean, for Pirates, it's the benchmark is already there, which is Sundowns. So for Sundowns, it's
yeah.
difficult to have that benchmark because they are the benchmark. And
Nah,
it's a bit of a challenge. We saw today's game. Look at the first half. It was a bit of a drag. Conceding. Now you have to
yeah,
pull up your socks literally and try and swing the result. And if you saw in the first half, like we spoke about, the mistake that Koza made with the chance that they could have extended the lead, would have been even more of a mountain to climb. So
sure,
I think they're in a tricky position right now because of the benchmark, in terms of benchmark, and having to
yeah,
where to look to try and reach. Whereas for Pirates,
yeah,
they know there's somebody ahead of them that's been doing it, and they know that over the years they haven't been far off, and it's just getting closer and closer. And let's hope this will be the season that it happens. Where they actually get
Eish.
to overcome. So we'll see, man. It's an interesting second half of the season. Looking forward to it. I mean, like you said, the game
Yeah,
in hand is not guaranteed 3 points, and that showed with the Cape Town City
yeah,
game against Pirates. That was the game in hand they
yeah,
had, and unfortunately they lost the game, which could have had them on par with points with Sundowns. But these things happen, and hopefully they get to rectify it earlier than later, so that they can stay behind the pack. And maybe the difference would be when they play each other. It would be a 6 point instead of a 3 point, because now you have equal
sure.
points, 1-2 points difference, and that win would be the difference in whether you catch us or not, or you go past us or not on the log standing. So yeah, man, it's interesting times for soccer beat lovers. We're looking forward to what's to come. A great evening of football.
Hey.
For South Africa, and it was a good game. Not easy for Sundowns. They had to literally grind that result.
Yeah.
So much so that guys had to literally roll up sleeves and put on gloves.
Hey, people are rolling up sleeves.
Put on gloves.
No, Kermit, in fact, before you go on an ad break, in fact, there's something that I also picked up, like, with teams playing against Sundowns, they really go into that low block, and I think today would have worked at an advantage for Magesi, especially in the first half. Maybe they just couldn't maintain it in the second half. They sat back from the halfway line, and they tried to play on a counter with Makubo, deadly striker, and they managed. That's why they managed to get the goal. They actually took Sundowns to a smaller field, which made it really difficult. In fact, they just pressed Debza, they pressed Mkulisi. I think that's why they were subbed, because maybe that was the game plan from Magesi, knowing that
the pitch
they're going to come with that trio.
A good condition for them to play the football they know how. The shoeshine and piano.
Yes.
It was challenging for them.
Correct.
He said it in his post-match interview, the field was small, having to play after 72 hours on a pitch where the ball is not really moving as quick as they would have.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are the challenges, and those are the things oppositions try and do to try and get an advantage over better teams, bigger teams, if for that case.
Aye. No. Asho patalama pili Kermit. Let's go pay the bill, soccer beat lovers. We will be right back, just to break down and see what's going to be next for Sundowns. I think they've just stepped it a notch a bit. And yeah, see you after the break. Sabuya manje sazwakala second half manje 2020. Aware.
Golden liquid pouring. Gold splashing. Gold swirling. Waves of gold foaming. Cut to reveal more gold. It's easy to make a beer that looks gold. But to make a beer that wins gold, that's a different story. Carling Black Label, Africa's most awarded beer.
Welcome back, Soccer Beat lovers. Please do not forget to subscribe, to like, and share your comments. This is a beautiful show that we have for you guys, sharing our thoughts, analyzing the games, and looking at the players, looking at who's hot, who's not, looking at the players that are actually lifting their hands, and looking at the teams that are actually performing well. And today we looked at a Sundowns team that showed character, a Sundowns team that showed that they have depth, a Sundowns team that showed that even if they are a goal behind, they can still come back and win the game, and going into their next fixture. Hopefully, I think it's obvious that there's going to be a whole lot of changes in the squad. There's probably injuries, like you said. Hopefully, it's not that bad with Mokoena and Mudau, and you have Lunga out now with the red card. I think that gives an opportunity for other players as well. And I think before I close, Kermit, I wanted to talk about the salesman in fit. This is just my piece of advice. I think when he comes short, he's not really a player that can give you something. But look when he was in the box, it gives options to the fullbacks to actually cross the ball to him, because he's got height. I know he wants to play and be like,
struggles with link-up play, is what you're saying.
Yes, and his strength. He's got the height, because look at how he set that goal. I mean, that just shows you how, like, he is a clever striker. He just needs to be more in and around the box. Yeah, exactly, because he set it up. You understand? Yes, but now he mustn't come short. He mustn't come short. But look at the finish from Ribeiro, Joe. But it just shows that, like, the dimension that Sundowns changed in the second half. Maybe that was the plan. Get it out wide, bring it back to the fullback, and let the fullback put it in the box. And it happened exactly like that. I think they could have scored 2 or 3 goals. They disallowed Peter's goal. But yeah, I think big up to Sales, because I know people will be like, yeah, but you were saying the salesman. I still need him to score. Yes, assists are there, but I need him to score. But it's good signs that at least, there's somebody coming off the bench that can give the team a different dimension. What's your take on the salesman?
I mean,
before we close,
you got to play to an attacking player's strength. Like you said, maybe in the build up, in the link up play, he battles a bit. But that's something you can work on in training as well, man. I mean, most of the things that you lack or that you not so good at as an individual, you can work on. All you need to do is just put in the time. But like you said, he's in the box. He's dangerous. I mean, he's got to have some crosses for you to see his strength. Not only for using his head, but obviously his timing to run to the first post or the second post based on where the cross is coming from. That's the strength that he has, And I just want to know, man. Besides Salis, who would you like to see coming in that left back position now that we have a suspension in Divine Lunga? I mean, you've been crying about that position for a while now. So, who would you like to see come in as a left back? Who would you prefer? I mean, what are your options?
Obvious choice.
Who do you have?
Obvious choice in Tana. Me, I have an obvious choice, Tana. Ops and ops in Tana. The man, the ops and ops.
Yeah. Left back, my brother. They changed the guy.
Yeah, that's Mamela. That's the ops and ops, my friend.
I'll tell you. I don't want inside. I want.
He's got no choice. It's full inside. The taxi rank is full by the taxi rank, my friend. It's full there.
You see, the way he links up play from midfield to attackers in that position, he's like a Bernardo Silva. You know what I mean?
Yes.
He catches the ball. He brings the ball. He's always on the ball, making the team play, being an outlet for the team, for the defenders, to alleviate pressure to the opposite side. So I think he's comfortable there, man. And I'm sure he's enjoying himself there. And I know that
with the situation right now, Kermit, with the fullback out, he's got no option. I mean, look, do you think Tapelo Morena loves playing right back? I know him as a winger, I know him as a striker, likes scoring goals. But for the team, you have to take one for the team. If the coach says, Cheezy, go play right back, I have to, and go play that right back. So if coach says Aubrey left back, then Aubrey says, no, I want to play in the midfield. Coach says, but I already have 4 or 5 in that midfield. I have an Adams that's coming in as well. So where do you want to, where am I going to put you in the team? So Obs is going to have an option now to say, okay, coach, I think let me go compete there on the left. Yes, his quality in the midfield, but I think his option is now going to be, let me assist Ulunga Lapana left back and just work on my defensive duties.
I can't wait for the next episode because I want to see whose coach is going to play and see your reaction. I just want to know what you got. If it's not Aubrey, what you think is going to be.
For sure. But I'm thinking out the box all the time, my man. I'll probably, because teams like to sit back, you can even play 3 at the back. You can play a 3. You can play Musa Libusa on the left, not as a left back, but play the 3 at the back. Have a Musa Libusa, have a Koza, the same way they finished off the game, and have a Grant, and then you can have a Aubrey playing more as a left midfielder, but playing out wide, which is which adds up into the midfield as well.
Okay,
you understand? Okay, so I see you Kermit on the next episode after the next Sundowns game, Buffeto. Let's see what's the upcoming lineup from Sundowns, and please share in the comment section. Just tell us your preferred lineup after all these injuries and suspensions. Who would you like to see at left back, and who would you like to see play right back? Because those are the vacant positions right now. So Bonangani, SoccerBeat lovers, from me, Kermit, Romeo, Cheesy, Manizi, easy, taking it easy, Sisonke Bafetu, one love. SoccerBeat, let the beat do the talking. Sisonke Bafetu. I'm out.
SoccerBeat, ouça!